The Pretzel Rocks was still playing for me. It's quite loud. All right, what are we doing today? Today is going to be slightly different than what we have been looking at. We are going to be getting into building services with Go. And I had to get the host running real quick there. All right, so now I've got all the tweaks done. So here's the idea. We are going to be building some web services. Some of this is new territory for me. I haven't built that many web services with Go just yet. So a little bit of experimentation. And we're going to be using the Mux framework from Gorilla to do this with. There's going to be a few other things in there too. Oh, my machine is at the wrong resolution. There we go. Fixed it. And yeah, I'll be bouncing the screen over into full size in just a second. But yeah, so we're going to be building these services and starting to map out to the actual database, Sonder database itself. So with that, let me pull this chair up, and we're going to get started. And if you're wondering, and have seen previous episodes, Christina's here. She'll be in chat, but since she just taxied her airplane into the airport at Charlotte International, she'll be joining us that way. All right. So, with that said, and we know where everybody is, and everybody's safe, we're going to start building some stuff. First things first, get you a good view here of the screen just to get started. All right, so here I go. I'm gonna open up WebStorm here, and I'm also gonna open up Go, and then we're gonna pull up this just to get some code arranged. We'll also take a look at GitHub and where our repo is. Get that out of there. All right. So if we go to Trux, we'll have two things. So now, just to note, there are the repos out on Riptano. That's where the official repos are going to be. I now have created a new one. This is the one we've been working from, Trux. Here's where migrations are, which we added last episode. And then I just created this new repo, which just doesn't have a lot yet, just a license, README, etc. For the Go services. And I also submitted a pull request. So let's talk about that pull request into this repo. So what I did in this pull request is I removed specific database migrations that we actually worked on last session. So if we look at that, we can see these two files are deleted. Down here, I took some stuff out of the environment that I was spinning up and tearing down in Docker. And, oh, that's weird. I don't remember what I did to that. But the key here is I just took this stuff out because from the client perspective, those elements aren't particularly going to be needed. Or they're going to be different. It's not responsible for doing the schema migrations themselves. So the backend or server-side repo is what's going to be responsible for that. So this repo is where the migrations are going to be, which I have. Let's go ahead down here, and everything looks good, I think. But We don't merge our own stuff. We get a review from the team. Which course is Christina? So add her as a reviewer and assign this one to her. So she can merge that at her convenience. Alright, so there's that one. And then over here in my branch off of Truck Services Based, I've added some initial Go files, which are mostly just, there's not a lot there. There's just that. And then I moved the migrations, key schema migrations over to this repo, okay? And again, my work is over here in Trucks, and I basically fork from the main repos and then work back from that, submit my pull requests, etc., from my own forked repo. So I don't have anything else to add to that one, but in this one, I have all this stuff. So let's actually create new pull request. Master. So here I added just the path for the IDE to keep those files out. Added GoCQL and Mux dependencies. Made a little app just to put the router and the connection in, just so we can work as like an app dot whatever within our code, and then just some empty stuff. And then I added, what does this change? I guess it's space or something. Anyway, got all the migrations in there, so that looks good. Oh, and the notes, I added the notes too. All right, so create pull request, adding initial migrations. First migrations and a few skeleton Go files. Put that in there. You can check that out. And I'm going to put both of us in here. I'm so glad GitHub added that feature. It was always kind of frustrating to have just one person there. We have a... Oh yeah, we're not really using the projects. Create a pull request. So now we have two pull requests, one for this repo, one for that repo. Now, I would cheat and go ahead and push this one in, but I don't want to do that. I'm just going to keep working from my repo though. So this one will stay relatively empty for now. And let's go back to my so-called empty stuff here. So first we want to go into codes. So move into truck here, get pull, get all the latest stuff. Merge with, oh, what? Git checkout master. Now I want to do pull clear. All right. So that's good. And then I want to go to my Go path, where I have my other projects here, and I want to actually pull that down. This is not the project I want. Open the project and I get it. And you'd actually go back out to GitHub to get that one. All right, now that we're getting into the meat, let's transition the actual code screen here. All right. All right, so here's our other project. Has the migrations over here and stuff, but it's cleaned up. This doesn't need to be there. Whoops. There. Let's commit that real quick. Oh. Just confused, I guess, about the directory. All right, so this has all of our application in there, and I'm still going to have this, but it's going to spin up what's pertinent to the truck side of things. And then over here, I'm going to actually have this build the appropriate containers and such from dev up, dev down, and build a container, put it out there. We'll probably put it on Docker Hub. And from there, it'll build, and any of the latest things will be injected into the Docker environment creation in the Trux repo. So if somebody's working from the Trux repo, they can just still do a dev up, and they'll get all the pertinent things, including a database and everything that they need to run in that application. And then just do whatever development is necessary at that point. Dive into Vue.js stuff and have all the data that they need to work with. So that's the idea. That's what we're going to be working on here. But today we're just going to get some mux routes and endpoints going here. So you're just checking some things. All right. So here I've put basically the router. Oh, and this doesn't seem to exist, so let's here go get it for now. And then the other thing I want to do is let's see if I have dep installed. I believe I do. So dep is dependency management for Go. So I'm going to actually use dep init here. It's not within a Go path. Well, what is my Go path? Yeah, that's what I thought. So home Adrian Go. That would be that. So that should be in a Go path. In source, yeah, Go source right there. That's that. And this is built in. All right, so let's. What do I have? Echo. Go path. Ah. Well, that's not what it's supposed to be. So let's do. What? Oh. Tools. Command line launcher. Toolbox. Oh. Something new about the IDE. So how do we... Yes. Wow, I just got 6 gigs of space back. Generate shell scripts. Yes, please. Select. What? Yeah, whatever. Just put them in there. That's what I want. back in. Look at that. What was the setting? Tool install location. Okay, that looks good. Trying to log in. I want that. So select a directory from system path. Use generate command line scripts for every installed IDE. Okay, that sounds good. 3 updates available. It's doing that. So let's. All right, I think I'm going to log out. Make sure the script executes. Updates finished. We need to wait for the updates, so we're in the bind, waiting for the updates. Actually, you know what? The updates will work fine if I just log out. So let's do. Where's log? There it is. Log out. Install a new instance. Exit. Well, I don't know if that worked. Generate scale script. Well, find out in a minute. I'm just gonna leave that running, and we'll. All I wanted to do was open the bash RC. That's it. Let's just use code bash RC. Is our yarn path, node, version manager path. Here we go. Go. I don't want that. I want go. I don't know why I changed it to work. Oh, whatever the reason. Let me go look at that and just see what I have in here real quick. Oh, nothing specific. Oh, that stuff is. Oh. So source bash RC. We'll rerun that. We should have our path correct now. Okay, that's good. In the IDE, we should have our path set correctly. So we need to install dep. So let's do that real quick. There's a couple different ways to do this. On a Mac, you can just brew, install. Linux, it's usually easier just to run this script. Arch Linux has Pacman. Then, of course, you can do it from source, etc., etc. So that's all great. And we're on 1.11.5. I just wanted to check. All right, oops, not getting it, depth in it. Now we're rolling here. It'll take a second. That'll look at the Mux and GoCQL dependencies and pull those in. Whew. So finally some progress here. All right, dependencies are there. Now we have our lock file and our toml file, which shows our dependencies, Mux and GoCQL. I'm going to add those to the project for our next push. And let's see here. Let's see what the state of our Docker environment is. Docker. PS, anything running? Nothing's running. We got plenty of the images, Docker network list. Nothing extra there. All right. So we can let's add some configurations to help us run this stuff. So I'm going to start with a bash file. Just call it dev up server path, let's jump in. I think that is all we need. Dev up. Another bash. We'll pick the down. Go. Go with bash again. Alright, so that should give us our environment. So let's do dev up, run that. In the container. Oh yeah, well let's make sure everything's torn down correctly then. There we go. And let's dev up. Cool. Now we should have our environment and we should be able to connect to it. So this is 172.26.03. Oops. So that was rad. The VM crashed. Not uncommon. Alright, so restarting the VM real quick. Let's take just a few seconds. Iggy's kombucha. Tasty stuff. So let's all right, the updates are all set. Let's see if location. I feel like I should do that. Anyway, so that's set. And at least save this. Let's see where I got. Here we go. So go land back up. There we go. Okay. So the question is what are we actually doing now? All that disruption. So let's run dev down again. Run dev up, and hopefully we won't crash this time. All right. So now, if we take a look, we should have the Docker stuff we need. Docker network list. There it is, TruxNet, and then Docker PS, and we should have, there's our Cassandra node to work against. All right. So we can also go over here now and connect to it. So is it 172 dot or 21.0.3, I think. Yeah, I remember correctly. I did not. So let's see here. 172, 26. That's way off. Let's run the first one of these. That's right, we need the connection first, duh. Yeah, okay. Got a good connection, so now we can run our migration here. Run that against the database. And then what I have found works better than trying to refresh this thing and get the key spaces to show up right. For some reason, just add another connection, another data source to Apache Cassandra, and put in that IP, and then actually add the key space, which is Trux. I forgot the key space. What are we doing here? Oh, Trux SSOR. for source system of record. So we do this. Oh, there we go. Apache Cassandra. IP. Trux. Source system. Now I got a hiccup. That's what I get for drinking kombucha. Source system of record. Test that connection. Should be good. Yep. All right. And now we see our Trux here. So right now our Trux has a name, phone, details, ID, type, primary key. And what we want to do Hey, Code Cat. That is Christina, by the way, for all those in the chat and watching the stream. So we now have the full team here. I am in the middle of getting the Go project started for the services. Just kind of, I pulled the migrations over to here, and I am working on getting the dependencies set, kind of like with NPM with Node. In Go, we have Go dep, which stands for dependencies, and those are in this file, designated here, and there's a little CLI. We don't actually have to type this weird stuff they have in that file. And I did that simply by typing dep init, and then, of course, since those two files exist already, it says manifest already exists, we can just do dep ensure. So like if you were to, yes, I think it is turned down now. Volume is hard on Twitch streams. So, okay. Dep ensure, basically, like if you were to clone this repo, dep ensure is somewhat equivalent to npm install. So you pull it down, just make sure you have dep installed along with Go, and then you type dep ensure, and it pulls in all the dependencies, puts it into a vendor directory here. In their mapping, similar to how it's located on GitHub, github.com here. All right. And so far, all I've added is Mux, which is going to be my router, my middleware router for getting the REST service path APIs set up and routed. And then GoCQL, which is going to be the thing I use to get the data out of our database and issue CQL commands of whatever type. Let's see here. All right. So I have that, and then I probably want, let's see here, we're not currently using a username and password for the database. Eventually we'll need to add that. But for right now, let's see, I'm gonna say func, add the app there, set up and initialize to start the service, and so far we're just going to do cluster name. That'll be a string. And then eventually we'll have like a username, password also for the database. Let's do another func. Call this run. Whoops. And that's basically going to be like our local host or whatever to start that. And in main, A is going to be our app. We're going to initialize it. it's, what did I just put in there? Yeah, username, password, and then DB name. Call it, I think I called it Cassie's Trucks. I think that's what I call it. Anyway, we can fix it easily in a second. Okay, that gets us initialized, and then we want to run. I'm just going to add the port number in here. What should be the port number? 8000, 8080. What does the client-side app run on? Is it on 8080? I guess I can look. Let's open up WebStorm. We'll take a look. Yeah, except on this end, I want to have one that's different, at least for development, so that the ports don't conflict. So I was going to change it just to be not whatever the client side is. Okay. Well, on that note, let's just make this one 8079. I'm going to create a model file. And this is just to start with. I might change this pattern a little bit later. But for the service, I'm just going to say model.go. And this is going to be a basic type that we use for the data we pull in or pull out of or put into the database. So let's go with type. Trucks. Truck. It'll be a struct type. And we'll have. Actually, let's see. What do we have? I don't recall. I'll make that. Okay, that'll stay until I show it. So we have ID. Be a string on this end. Excuse me. Then name string phone. We're gonna go with string for now too. Then details. Definitely a string. I don't remember what I was putting in type, but anyway, string, like so. Oh, truck type. There we go. Can't use type because type is the keyword. And let's I'm thinking right, I should set this as JSON so we can have it appropriately formatted for import, export. Okay, I got the stuff there. I don't know why this is. Oh, do I need a? No. Got JSON. Right. Huh. Well, I'm gonna take that off for the moment. maybe I did it wrong. All right, so now let's get model. I want to do it where I can do, that's your funk, truck, point at the thing with a pointer, and then we'll say get truck, pass an error if it fails. Oops. And then update, delete, and create. Update. Oops, delete. Ah! There we go. Create. Truck. Just checking the chat, make sure I'm not missing nothing. All right. Is this fussing about nothing in it? Is that what it's saying? Oh, add return to it. Of course. So let's return nil errors dot new. If there's an error, just put not implemented for the moment. Inspection. Too many arguments to return. Oh, dirt. So truck. You gotta put the thing in there. So this is gonna be truck error. Will it be? No. Wait, that's right. I just need to put in, for this, I need to do db. So let's see here. Go CQL. Just gonna put the con in there for a holder right now. And then funk. Another one, so we'll get, let's do a get products one. Or get trucks. That's what I need. Get trucks. And hey, Ancient Coder, how are you? Just building some MUT services, or routers, really, for our trucks application. So I'm going to need the DB. Go CQL.con. Whoops. Okay, will that work? Yeah. And then we're going to return the trucks that we get back. And an error if there's error. Oh yeah, for sure. I will definitely be updating the README. We can chat then. Change the music to ambient too, because it kind of annoys me too. But Dead Space also drives me nuts, so I was just playing it. Let's hear run dep ensure. Why is it telling me to do this? I think it's found a bunch of dependencies in it. Oh, so it ran it okay. Anyway, so we're doing, oh yeah, get trucks. And we're gonna return, oops. Return nil errors dot new not implemented. What else do we need? So there's our object or our struct, whatever. Errors. This is added. Oh, why is this? No, not Go SQL like that. That's crazy. Let's go get the real path and help it out. github.com/GoCQL/GoCQL. So that should work. Okay, yeah, GoCQL, GoCQL. And then put that back in here. I don't know what I was thinking here. That doesn't need to be there. All right. Now I kind of want to write a test for some of this stuff. I think best to do that. Just main test. Let's do something like Can I do that? Func test main testing. All right. So I need a equals main dot. Can I do that? Can I? There's got to be a way to. Maybe I can just do app dot. Oh yeah, that's what I can do. Dot initialize, and then we'll do name. Oops. What am I missing? Why is that not working? Oh, it's not. Blah, 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 blah. I don't remember how you reference this thing. Maybe if I do. Can I do that? Come on, ID. Tell me what the deal is here. How do I get this in here? Okay, we're gonna skip the test for now, because I'm frustrated with that. All right, in here though, let's get some bulk. Let's do something here. So this is where we want to basically put the connection together and everything. So we want to have a session effectively, which would be, let's go with cluster, go CQL, new cluster, and then we'll put our host in here. And our hosts currently are listed here. So we just have the one. Hey Disak, how you doing? Just building some Go services here with muck, gorilla muck, and cluster dot key. What do I need to do? Cluster that. Yeah, that should be fun for that. Then key space. What is our key space? It's going to be. Oh, I keep forgetting it. Derp. Oh, Trux SSOR. There we go. And then cluster dot consistency equals. Let's go with GoSQL dot quorum. Go. Now we're gonna get into session. Let's skip over the error for the moment. Cluster dot create session. Once we create the session, we need to defer that to session dot close, so it'll close when we're all wrapped up. Now, I'm not sure if I actually need to declare this at this point, but I'm going to leave it there for the moment. What I do need to do, though, is now, let's see here. I need to set up a router. Off of mux, which I think is mux.new router. Yes. Oh, maybe I should get the basic CRUD style test going on here. Let's put that back. We're in main. Let's do this and then say import testing and then do this. Main.app. What the heck did I do different this time? Dad burn it. I had so much trouble declaring that earlier. Oh, I bet I didn't change the package name. It was messing me up. It was colliding. But that's what it was. Go back and look at the video later. Figure out what I got stumped on. All right, so test A. Get our app set up here. Our app object. Then use the initializer. I'm gonna pass in no username and password currently, but the cluster name is gonna be the IP, which is this. We need to add, yeah, there it is. So, that really needs to be derived from an environment variable or something. But an environment from a config file. That's where it needs to be pulled from a config file. Okay, I'm gonna mess with that later. We're gonna get sidetracked. Put that in there. All right. And then okay, we need to do we're going to ensure table exists. And we're going to do some code stuffs. Then we're going to clear the table out. Then we'll exit code. So this one needs to be created. Let's create a function. Just using the Alt-Enter for Golang to do this. Pop those suckers down there. Now ensure table exists. This is going to be, let's see here. I want it to run a query. So what is it? It's session dot query. Right, yep. Okay. And then we're gonna do some backticks for the string, but I want this over here. And let's create a var query string, and we're gonna make it, I don't need that. We're gonna make it the backtick thing. So this will just make this line a little bit cleaner. Query string, and then run the query. What else does it say? Does it say something for me? Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need... That's right. So if I've initialized here, then I have a session, which that's what this needs to be. Can I do that? That work? And then this becomes... Oh, whoops. No. What does this become? Let me think about this for a second. How... So I'm doing this based on a model that I've used previously with a relational database. So I don't know if this is gonna work the same with a session, so we need to figure out that. Oh, I know what it'd be. So it would be a dot Cassie session. Is that how I need to do that? I think. And the create cluster. It still has a. Oops. What's it fussing about? Oh yeah, because it's already created. That's right. Oh, and then we need to set up this. A little bit different thinking than doing it the traditional way with the connection bound SQL relational database connection. So then the router is that. Right, so session and then the router. So the session is what I needed up there. That's what I was trying to think of earlier and I just couldn't think of it. Kept bumbling around in my head. All right, so back over here, this would be Cassie session query the thing, which is going to be query string. Then what else do we need in this? So I have the query string. Should be something like ensure table exists. So that would be this statement. It's almost like it has its own migrations, right? There is no. Let's see. Let's pull up the docs on this. Oh, there's Go SQL right there. Exactly what I was looking for. So, like, if we're doing an insert, that would be that. So if the query is a select, it's a backtick and then comma me dot, and then you can change consistency. Data binding? Eh? Oh yeah, okay. All right, so let's add print line, query, consistency, scan. Embedded Cassandra for development and running tests. I built something a while back with it, Java, and was really happy with it. Embedded, so just like a single node embedded in an application. Honestly, that'd be pretty slick. I mean, you gotta, even though you don't have redundancy and everything, if you're not really expecting it to be, you know, redundant across nodes, then that would be a pretty powerful use of Cassandra, honestly. Like if you put it embedded in there, it doesn't require a lot of resources for just the service to run. You get that up and running, and you got a mean little database there. Is that what you're speaking to specifically, Disso? Because that's just the first thing that popped into my mind when I think of an embedded application, is having like a singular database running on the particular device or whatever it is that you're using or building. Back to this. Let's hear. Where's the chat? There it is. Yeah, so feel free to elaborate. I'm happy to proffer some opinion around that. So you're gonna add y'all to the DataStax Academy friend list. Where'd Ancient Coder go? Ancient Coder was in here 5 seconds ago. No, there they are. Oh, we're already friends. Okay, cool. You're on the friends list now too, Disso. All right, so here, query string dot me. Let's just put that, and then what was the other bit? Me. Do we need? Are there more docs around that? Do they have example test data? Oh, that's for that stuff. Okay. Do. Words executing use statements simplify the library. The user still has the ability to define the default key space for connections, but now the key space can only be defined before a session is created. Right, okay, we did that. Can still access the key spaces by indicating the key space in the query. Oh, right, well, I need to do that anyway, I believe. Oh, dot exact, that's what I want to do. So that's the syntax I was looking for. To development and test profiles dependencies, it was super easy to work with. I wasn't sure if there were any really big issues or gotchas other than maybe not testing in an actual cluster. Oh, so for like in this example, well, there are definitely issues, right? So I'm working on building a schema migrations library in C# that will hopefully take into account some of this stuff. And I know there's libraries to do schema migrations for Apache Cassandra. But the thing is, so like with a key space, you can't really migrate that up from one cluster to another exactly the same because it has cluster specific settings. So that's a bit of that's something that can come up as an issue. And also, like if you're working with and testing against a single node, and then you move to production and say you want to change the consistency of your queries or something like that, just like the example here. Where did it go? Yeah, consistency, go CQL1. So that becomes an issue, right, from one cluster to another cluster. So if the clusters are similar enough, or at least have similar consistency levels and stuff in the queries that you need to issue against them, then that's great. If the queries are just super basic, like some of the ones that I'm doing right now, that works okay too when you have a local node to work against like this. As things get bigger, as the consistency levels change, then you need to have code that knows, basically like the application service needs to know how to determine which environments it is in and which consistency level to use and things like that per cluster environment. So there's that aspect to think about because things do change from environment to environment. So as long as you have some like basic, say, selects or inserts that aren't requiring specifics and can use defaults, then that helps a lot. But otherwise, you got to keep that in mind as you're going from one to another, right? I think I might pull the extensions here too. Use some of those. We'll look at that later though. All right. Back to our example here. So we got this stuff, and really we just have the query. That's all we're trying to execute because it's just the create table. And then we're gonna do dot exec. There we go. And then error not equal to nil. Life can continue. Otherwise log fatal. Error. There we go. Right? Yes. Non-canonical import path should be dot. Whatever. Let's get a build in here too. We don't have one of those yet. Go build. We do the package, I believe. It's output directory environment. That looks good. Okay, and eventually we're gonna have to go back through and remove these magic strings and put something and refer to the actual configuration value or something out of a config file. Same thing with these here. Let's see, we got the router running. Now I think. Yep, all right, and then main test. Let's clear the table out. Or clear table data, right? But we don't want to clear the, Well, this might actually not actually come into play, because I definitely want this to be independent, but also additive, so that we don't yanking stuff back out unless we know specifically what it is. Oh yeah, migrations can be kind of weird. That's one of the reasons I started on the C# Hour show on this channel. I'm going to be building that client that does the schema migrations, and a lot of that takes into, I wanted to take into account the additional things that need to come up when you're doing a schema migration in Apache Cassandra, versus say like a lot of the tools that do schema migrations and they try to make it exactly the same as say Postgres or MySQL or something like that. So really, we don't need this. We don't need that. We just want to ensure the table exists for this round. And I think I can run, oh, I left a big name in there. Let's get rid of that. Let's just call it build service base. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we got a pretty awesome lineup that we've been putting together. There's the C# hour, which I'm aiming to do on a regular basis. And really, I could turn the C# hour into the Java hour. It's pretty close on a lot of levels. The things that I'm doing with it, the Apache Cassandra driver, etc., very similar to all the things you could do with the Java driver. And the application I'm writing could easily be written in Java too. Doesn't really make that much difference. And I'm focusing on a CLI first, so that's pretty cool. And then of course on here we've got Vue.js repo, and we got this Trux services base, which is the server side that I'm working on right now. And Christina and I are putting that together. We'll be putting it together for the next couple of months, building out this application, wiring everything up. And heck, maybe we'll even use my schema migrations tool at some point in the future. All right. Does that work? Can I run that? Let's see if we can add a test for it, or a test build for it. What did I just do? Oh yeah, there we go. Build service base. So we're going to do test service base. There we go. Package. I think it's a package. Do I even have enough to run local import in non-package? Yeah, that breaks freaking everything. Is that what it should be? That doesn't make any sense either. In a non-package. Oh, well, I thought I could do it. Whatever. So let's try that. Oh yeah, Docker, network. Exited with a 2. Well, what the heck did I just do? Undefined Trux. Don't I have Trux right? Oh. run that. Let's see. Yeah, that's cool. That's perfect. It'll test framework broke unexpectedly session closed. And I don't know what that really means. Debugger. Whoa, that's some crazy. Why did all the tabs go in there? I don't want the tabs. Definitely don't want the tabs. Let's let's get rid of the tabs. See what that goes. Much better. Right, why did it do this? Oh, Session has been closed. I'll probably need to do this. Might have to do session calls from in here. Pass, fish with X code 0. All right, that seems to be some progress there. Verifies our tables there, and now we need to do what? We need to that's correct. So yeah, no test to run. Passed. Now let's get in here and do an actual stupid test. So we're gonna do func test empty table, I guess. We already have a clear table currently, right? And we'll do a figure out what that is in a minute. Request. That's right. We want to call then out to our HTTP. Oops, request. We're gonna do a get, and then we're gonna do trucks. Or no, trucks. Yeah. And then nil. Response. request in it. I think that'll work. Create that. Create function. Yes, perfect. Then let's do check response. THP.status. Okay. And then check our actual code. Do we call it right? Yeah, because we're gonna need a trying to remember all this stuff is pain. I should just be looking at the docs. So HTTP response, HTTP test. Oh yeah, there we go. Thanks. Yes, it is code. Okay. And then check response. That needs to be created. And then, well, let's clean this up. So this is going to be the expect, and then received. Yeah. And if expect is not received, throw a test error expected a response code of and got instead. Go and then expect received. Boom. Okay. So that's check response. Execute thing. Blah blah blah. So let's get a recorder of the HTTP test, and then do new recorder. All right, and then app router dot serve HTTP, and then I can put in my recorder, and then the request, and then I can return the recorder. Okay. So that just, yeah, that checks that. And then test empty table. Well, run it. Maybe I wrote enough in there. Yeah, okay. Got 404 instead. That's correct, actually, because we haven't implemented the thing. All right, so we need to do I guess I could write more tests, or I could start to implement. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually let's implement this one, right? We'll do, let's see what we got. We'll need to add func test get truck t asterisk t. So what we're gonna want to clear the table data, Well, I'm gonna have to write add product in, yeah, add test trucks truck. We'll do one. I'm keeping all this stuff in my brain. My brain's gonna pop. So let's do our request to new request. We'll do a get. Will we do a get? Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's right. Then we want to do truck. Oh. This will have to return our truck ID. Like that. Let's add this function. Oh, that's kind of crappy. So yeah, we just want to add one. Actually, let's not even do that. Let's do this. And then we'll say good. No, what is it in? Oh, what is a CQL binding GUID or UUID? Thinking C# syntax here. GoCQL.UUID. That's what I actually want. Yeah, okay. And then that doesn't need to be there. I'm supposed to do the error first. I wonder what the actual casing is for that. Or the actual format usually is for that. All right. We've gotten to a good point, and we have run over by, oh dear, 38 minutes. Just got to coding here, and craziness. Okay, so ran over time a bit. So, but here is where we're at. Let's just recap for a minute. We've got the base project set up. We swapped the migrations from the client side to the server side repo. We now have a client side and server side repo so that they can work independently, but they'll also work conjoined. They're loosely coupled and will be loosely coupled. I'm going to be doing some more work probably on my own stream this evening on this specific project, which should be super cool. And since it's Friday, as always, I try to keep it super chill. Let's see, what else did we do? We did a number of other things. So we got initial tests written. We got one of them to pass. We got our initial mucks pulled in, our initial routes set up for get, update, create, the basic CRUD stuff for our source system of record table that's in Apache Cassandra. Oh, there's just so much more to do. My stream is Adrian Hall, twitch.tv/Adrian Hall. So I'm planning to stream at 3:33 p.m. I will be working on this and some other projects stuff and some other work in general. It'll be fun though, and a continuation of this effectively. But there will be some other sugar that I add to my particular stream. Let's see here. What is next? What is next? Oh, and that's 3:33 p.m. PDT Pacific. So, since I'm out here in Seattle, but I am going to leave us with where we got to. Got a lot more to do. See you at 3:33 p.m. I am going to go get some lunch and get something besides this kombucha that I've been drinking. It's been fun. Got a lot done. Looking forward to getting some more stuff done. So check you next time. Cheers.